Bianca, thanks so much for coming in and seeing me. So what's going on?
Basically, my boss is on my back a bit more, not feeling very comfortable with that. Okay. So, yeah, I just feel like I can't really, I just don't know what to do. Like, it makes me feel really nervous all the time. So,
Sure. So we've talked a lot about a lot of things, you know, when you come to see me before. So what do you want to get out of this chat today?
I guess probably would like some help with having the confidence to talk to my boss.
Okay. So it's about communication?
Yeah.
All right. So if you were communicating better, right, with him, what would be happening? How would you know that you were communicating better?
I'd probably have the confidence to say anything, and I guess he probably wouldn't be on my back all the time.
All right. So can you give me some examples of the sorts of things that you would like to be able to say to him?
I guess, so like he's always checking up on the work that I've done. Like if he's given me a task, like 5 seconds later it feels like he's asking if I've done it. So I guess if I could communicate with him, it would be like, yes, I'm going to get this done. I've just got some other work I need to do first, but you know, I'll get to it. So something like that. Okay.
And if you were communicating better with him, how would he be reacting, do you think? What would you notice, or he would notice about you in particular?
I guess he'd actually accept my word and wouldn't bother me again until I'd done it. So.
And what would your work colleagues notice about what was going on?
I guess in terms of the people I work with, they probably would just have maybe a little bit more respect for me, and I guess maybe just the relationship with them would just feel easier.
Okay. And what would be happening in that relationship that would make it feel easier for you?
Probably maybe wouldn't feel, I don't know, like banter.
Okay, there would be banter?
Yeah, there'd probably be a bit of banter, or just like saying hello or something like that. Yeah.
And how do you think you will feel? What will be different for you? How would you feel about, what would be different in terms of the way you present yourself, the way you are able to conduct yourself with your job if your communication is better with your boss?
I guess I probably feel like I could just breathe. Yeah, and just feel a bit more relaxed, I guess.
Okay. So if you were to, say, tomorrow, right, you come to work and you're communicating better, what would you notice about that for yourself? So we've changed, it's all happening for you. How are you going to walk in? So from the minute you walk in the door, even the minute you get up in the morning, what's going to be happening for you?
I'd probably just be happy to get up, and I guess my head would be up. And then walking through the doors, I probably wouldn't be looking at my shoes and just trying to get to my desk as quickly as possible. Maybe
what will you be doing instead?
Maybe I'd be happy to like check in with the other receptionists, see how they're doing. You know, if someone said, you know, I'm doing a round of coffees, maybe I could offer, or I'd be happy to say, yep, I'll go next round. Stuff like that.
Okay. So what would be the first thing then that you would notice that was different in your conversation with your boss?
He'd probably ask me how I was.
And I think you'd respond to that.
I'd probably fall off my chair, but I guess if communication was good, then we just check in to see how he was too and get on with my day.
Okay. So if you were, thinking about the conversations that you've got to have around your work schedule,
Yep.
okay, how do you think you would feel comfortable preparing for that conversation that you were going to have with him?
How do I feel if I have to ask him?
Yes.
Terrified?
So if it's all working for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't feel anxious at all. I'd feel like I'd know what he was already going to say, so I wouldn't be worried about it.
Okay. So if you're able to prepare for that,
Yep.
where would you do that preparation?
Probably at home.
Yeah. Okay. And how would that conversation go, that preparation go? What would you do?
I guess if I was really going to think about it, I might have to write something down and just rehearse it or say it out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what would you be doing? What would your confidence, your face, the expression, what would that all look like?
Well, what I can do and what it would look like are probably two different things, but
So you play acting, so
yeah, probably try and smile and have my chin up or something like that, and I guess I'd have good eye contact as well.
Good. So we're going to have a go at doing this.
Okay.
So how are you feeling now? So if you're on a scale of say 0 to 10, and 0 is you've got no confidence at all, right?
Yeah.
And this is kind of where you've been at a little bit. And 10 is the banter's happening, you're checking in, you're smiling, you're able to communicate well, he's accepting your word, and you're able to get on with your job and check in with him as and when you get the work done. Where do you think you're currently at now?
Right now, sitting next to you, probably a 5, but if I was by myself, I'd probably be a 3.
Okay. Well, let's take what's the difference? So you've got to a 3, so what's happened to get you to a 3? What's happening for you now that makes that a 3 for you?
Well, if you weren't here, I feel more I'd be by myself, so I feel like with you here I've got some protection. So yeah, I'd be by myself.
Okay.
At a 3.
At a 3. But the 3 is there's something working for you. So what is it that's been happening that's allowed you at least to sort of get by?
Probably I've been thinking about that I need to do this for a while now, so I guess it's not a new idea, it's kind of time I need to start doing this.
Start doing something.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you were to move up to a 5 without me being around,
Yeah.
what do you think would be, what do you need to do, what steps do you think you need to take to make that happen?
I probably will have rehearsed and maybe prepared myself for the worst.
Okay.
And then I guess we probably would have practiced something.
A little bit more?
Yeah.
Okay. So you say prepared for the worst, but I'm thinking you're actually preparing for what's got to work because you've identified that. So let's think about what could we do next? Would you like to prepare to go through some rehearsals? Would that be helpful or useful for you?
Yeah, probably some phrases or just kind of get something that I can practice so I know what I'm going to say.
To get you started.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll do that next.
Okay.
So apart from, we'll move on to that shortly, what's been the most useful thing for you in this conversation?
Maybe just breaking things down one step at a time, not just jumping to like the worst case scenario. I guess like checking in at a 3, you know, something positive I'd been thinking about it, so maybe just getting a gauge on where I'm at.
That's great, because I can actually see that there is you're wanting to have that change happen.
Yeah, okay.
So that's, you know, that's really useful, because you can see that it hasn't been what you have been doing. Some of it's been working, but you need to take it up to another level, really. Yeah. Okay. So how about we get some practice in?
Okay.
Okay, that's great. Bianca, you've got a presentation coming up.
Yep.
So I know I know you've been doing these for a while, and we've had a few chats about how you're going. So where do you think you're at the moment with your presentations?
I've got the one coming up next week, and I've got most of the presentation written.
Okay, good.
Doing the slides for it, but like still terrified. Yeah, it's just hard to believe that's next week.
Yeah, okay. So look, it is an important part of your job, and you've come such a long way with what you've been doing. So let's just break it down and start to talk about how you might look at turning that around and it starting to be a more positive experience for you.
Okay.
So how do you know, because you've done a few of these now, how do you know when your presentation has gone well?
People probably wouldn't clap, but maybe they're mentally clapping. Like you can just see that people are nodding with you.
Yeah.
Just get the sense that no one's checked their phone.
That's a pretty good sign,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And what else do they? How else do you know? So they're nodding. Maybe you can ask them not to have their phones out, but that's sometimes a bit hard.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
What else would they be doing?
They'd probably ask me follow-up questions, or say that's a great idea or good presentation.
Yeah, some feedback that
Yeah.
way. Yeah. Okay. How do you know that they're mentally clapping?
Oh, I think that's the nodding.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Okay. So what do you think, that's your immediate team, so your other attendees, so how will you feel? You know, what's the feeling you'll get? That's what everyone else is sort of, the signals they're giving you. So what about you? How will you know?
As in like, how will I feel once?
Yeah.
Well, proud of myself for not fainting.
Good start.
Yep.
Yep.
Probably just successful.
Yep.
And relieved because it will be over.
Yep. What about an internal fist pump? You feel that? Done it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a little thumbs up or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you've had that experience before, because you've had some successful presentations so far.
Yeah, they were just kind of really little though, so and there weren't many people in the room.
Okay. All right. So who would be the first to notice that you're going to give a good presentation?
Probably my boss, maybe. If he's in the room, because he's asked me to do it. So I think he knows that I don't like doing them.
Yeah.
So probably he might be surprised.
And when you're doing your preparation for this,
Yep.
there are other people that are knowing that you're working on your presentation.
Yep.
So what about your colleagues who you're working alongside? You know, as you're getting ready for this, how will they know that your presentation is going to be successful?
I guess if they kind of heckle me a little bit about it and I just say, yeah, I'm feeling fine. And they're like, oh, okay. Then I'd probably know that they're like, okay, I'm just going to do all right.
Just going to do okay.
Yeah.
So preparing for this, because when you're saying you've been working on it for, best part of the week.
Yeah.
Okay. So in your prep mode, what do you do that makes that successful? So talk me through your process for getting ready.
I guess what I've started to do is just read it every night.
Okay, yep.
And then sometimes I read it out loud. But that's as far as I've got.
Okay. And what does that do for you, reading it out aloud?
Kind of just gets me familiar with the words and just practice talking out loud because I don't want to sound croaky or anything like that.
Sure.
So just kind of getting, if I stuff up in rehearsal, like when I'm rehearsing, it doesn't matter, but I just want to make sure that doesn't happen in the presentation.
Okay. So the morning of the presentation, all right, talk me through how it's going to be a successful presentation. How is that day going to work for you?
I probably have several coffees. Then I'm going to sit at my desk and have some silence. And then just to try and calm my nerves. Then I will be all ready to go with my USB and set up in the room before people get there.
Yep.
Just kind of maybe orientate myself to the room. Yeah.
And as people walk in, what will you be doing?
Standing.
And will you be greeting them?
I hadn't really thought of that.
Okay.
Maybe just like, oh, hi, welcome, something like that. Like it's quite, I don't want it to be too weird or too formal. So just kind of just acknowledging that they're walking in maybe.
Yep. Okay. And then as you get started?
I guess once I know everyone's staring at me, I'll
Paying attention.
well, yeah. Probably just like welcome them formally and then just start.
And launch. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So in terms of where you think you're at now, okay, in your preparation and the way you're feeling about this one,
Yep.
You've built yourself up with a few before now. 0 to 10, 0. I don't think you're at a 0 now because you've got some good skills that you've worked on to this point. And 10 is woohoo, nailed it. Where do you think you're at?
Before, like me feeling now before
right
the
now.
presentation, 5.
Okay. So what's got you to a 5? Let's think very specifically about the things that have happened that you know that you've got under your belt that have got you to a 5.
I'd probably say just making sure I'm doing getting the presentation done early so that I can practice it.
Yep.
I've done a couple of presentations already, so it's the experience of that. Just sitting with you, that's kind of helpful too. So
Good. Okay. So this has been a useful chat today?
yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to meet up and we're going to see
Yeah.
how you've gone. Yeah. So we look forward to hearing how you go.
So do I.
Good on you.
Thank you.
Thank you.